Hey everybody, it's Monique again. This is video number 2. This is eyes. And before I forget, don't forget to go to our YouTube page and give us a big thumbs up. We're going under Blended Insanity. You'll see my boyfriend's going to put funny videos and things up. This is my beauty on a budget portion of our YouTube channel. So please, by all means, go there and like and, give me thumbs up, comment if you feel like it, and feel free to share the videos as well. If there's something you think somebody else can benefit from and learn to do a little bit of makeup cheaply and efficiently. So feel free to go forward, backward to whatever portion that you're looking for. So I always start with my eyes instead of just an all-over foundation, and here's my reason why. I have to admit, I am a huge fan of glitter, and glitter you can have some fallout with, and so you don't want to look like, glitter sneezed all over you. You'd rather look like you put it where you want it. So when it comes to my eyes, I've got this, and it's going to look really light to start with, but trust me folks, because everybody highlights around their eyes anyway. I'm going to use this Mary Kay foundation, and you may have heard me go over it in another video on prepping, but I was a little premature. I apologize. Like I said, my top pick for drugstore makeup is the Revlon 24-hour. I have oily skin, and this is a long wear full coverage. I believe it's like $8 a bottle. And they also have a cream to powder that I haven't tried yet, and I really want to, just to see if I can skip a step. But here is the cream to powder, or here is the regular oh, say hello to the Fritz. Here is the regular foundation, and then right underneath that is the ELF. Once again, these are super hypoallergenic for anyone who has got sensitive skin and does not want to try, some of the products that make them break out. This one is plant-based, not tested on animals, so it's super hypoallergenic and super affordable in the drugstores. But my preference for a mid-range, or I guess you would say good makeup, but that does not cost a fortune, for me is the Mary Kay Time Wise. I believe that I was told it was $22 for a tube of this, and I believe the pressed powder, or the loose powder foundation to go with it is $20. So still not super expensive, but the ELF and the Revlon are cheaper. And I use the lighter foundation. It's going to look super light, but that's okay, because that's kind of what we want. Because when you think about your makeup, you highlight around your eyes and around your lips and your cheekbones and such, because you do not want to look like you've got dark circles and such. So what I do is just go with a light coating all over the eye, and then I put it underneath as well. And I don't do this super heavy, because I'm going to go back in after I'm done with my eyes and go underneath and around and make it all blend in. But I do kind of get it started, and I just use my finger, or I have a silicone beauty blender, but I don't like to use this around the eyes because it doesn't seem to get in there as well. And so I use the lightest, this light foundation here on the eyes, and it also, like the primer, will help your eyeshadow stick. So I'm just going to get that all put on there fairly well. so that I can get started. Alright. So I have the foundation on around my eyes. Right now I kind of look like a raccoon. That's okay. I have a couple of different palettes that I have picked up for eyeshadows. Again, my ELF, go back to it all the time. ELF, this is just a Mad for Matte foundation palette, and it's all in the nude neutral shades, as you can see, which I really like to do the neutral colors, because when I put the glitter on my eyelids, I just put it on the mobile lid, and when I do that, I really like that color to pop, and so I have this tendency to use the matte foundations to start with. I just have, these are actually Mary Kay brushes I've had forever. I want to get a new set of brushes. This is just a typical eyeshadow brush that most people would have in their makeup, and I usually tend to go with this neutral color right in here. This is a good neutral, just about the same tone as my own eyes are, or my own skin I should say, and I just apply that just to the mobile lid, or mobile as some people would say, and I just put that right on there in a very neutral, just to the mobile lid itself. And then up above the mobile lid I have a slightly darker shade, just very slightly. This is the one I put on the lid, and then I have this slightly darker one that I go above it with, because we kind of want to blend it out. I tend to have a bit of a smoky eye look when I do this. It's just what I prefer. So I put that just up above it, all over. Make sure that it's well blended here. And then this, when you put the foundation on your eyes, it also helps to kind of highly pigment what you're doing. And always make sure that you blend well. Blending is the key to making this not look like a clown or a cartoon character, because kind of look like one now. And then I have this even lighter shade right here, so I use this, and then this little bit darker one up above it. And normally you would go darker to light, so if you're not one for glitter, you'd use like maybe this darker one and then a lighter one above it. But when I put the glitter on, it actually brightens it up a lot, so I use the little bit darker one above it. But the glitter, when I put the glitter on, I can actually kind of see what I'm doing with the separation line, so that's why I do it. It's kind of hard to see on here, but you can kind of sort of see the lighter and the darker above it. But that's just personal. And then I use an even lighter shade up above that. And as you can already see, I haven't even really blended it, but you can see how it has made the eye look much less raccoony, and just makes it more natural looking. And then I just blend that until I'm happy with it, all the way out. And you can see on both sides it makes it a little bit darker, but not so super dark. And then if you need a little more, just get it to where you're happy, because makeup is about what you like, not about what anyone else likes. So if the way I do it isn't quite what you like, do it your own way. That's just fine too. And then I have a couple of brow liner pencils. Now I know some people use eyeshadows, brow palettes, everything else. I really don't. I've been plucking my eyebrows since I was like 12, and I have them pretty well shaped exactly the way that I want them, And so I just go in. This is a Mary Kay. It's called Chestnut, and it is a brow liner. I've had it for so long, I honestly don't know what the cost of these are. Probably somewhere around $8 to $10. Just get a shade that works for you, that you're comfortable with. And I quite literally just come in here with this brow liner, and I follow the outline of the eyebrows I have already got in place, and then I just draw it out a little bit farther. If you can see, just a tiny bit farther, and I round it out a little to make it look a little more natural, and I just draw it out. And same on this other side. I'm a lefty, so bear with me here, folks. And again, I just follow my natural contour of my eyes, and I just pull it down a little farther than, and my gauge for bringing it down is, it's kind of hard, I know it, I've got light showing here, and you know, and this is another thing, I'm glad I kind of messed up a little right there, because it's not the end of the world if you go outside of the lines. By the time that you wind up using your highlighters for your brow bone and everything, you're going to be able to fix those little mistakes. And so don't be afraid to experiment and mess up, because I messed up so many times, and not only did I learn how to fix things, but I also learned that you get better as you try. So this is, let me get the light out of the way, you can kind of see they're pretty regular. And when I do a wing, I literally kind of go like this. And so that's about where I end, give or take, my eyebrow, so that you can see when I do my wings that it'll instantly just make the eye look bigger and more open and draw you towards that focal point. So that's really all I do on my brows. I know, cheating, right? Who's got time for it? So that's the brow part of it. And then I have this more fine-edged brush here. You all see that? And I use this brush in conjunction with, I have a very light, this is a palette that I don't even know where it came from, but it'll at least show you the color idea. This is a super duper light, it's, whoops, that was awesome. It's called Color Me Glow, and it's a variety of lighter shades, and they've got this nice kind of a bright, kind of whitish creamy color there, and it's got a hint of sparkle in it. That one's more gold, and I use the one next to it depending on what I want. This one's more of a fleshy with a little sparkle, whereas the other one's a little bit more gold. Oh, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong side because of the camera. It's this one or this one here, and I use this one mainly. And I just load my brush up really, see if I can get that to where you can kind of see it better, maybe not. I'm not good at this. This is my first time doing this, so please y'all bear with me. But I load that brush up heavily with that color, and I go in on the brow bone, and I kind of outline where I have just put my where I've just put the definition of my eyebrow, because you can kind of see compared to this one, even if I take the light out, oops, now I'm getting a glare from that. Even if I take the light out, you can kind of see the definition of what I'm trying to do here. So I just really pack that color up against that brow bone. And try to make my eyes look as big and open as possible. Now if you have a large, I have all the videos I have researched all have to do with my own personal needs and looks. And if there's something in specific that you're trying to learn to do, YouTube it and watch a bunch of videos and see what people do that you like. I mean, it's taken me a while to figure out what I like and play with it. People on my Facebook can go back and see my transition and my learning process, I guess you would say, with my makeup, because it didn't start out nearly as well as it is now. And so anyway, I'm just going to highlight that brow bone quite a bit, and then I am going to actually take some of that lighter color and go just above the brow bone as well, and I'm going to lighten this up, and it just really makes that brow look very defined and intentional, because you can kind of see this is the one I have done and this is the one I haven't. So I just go, like I said, up above that brow line, and it's that very, very light color again that I'm using up above it just to help make it look more defined. Now here is my famous trick. This is another YouTube video that I found and I absolutely loved. Like I said, I'm kind of a glitter person. I've got so many pretty glitters. This again was Wish.com. It was a 5-pack of loose glitters for, or excuse me, a 30-pack of loose glitters for $5. Now here's my one caution to everybody doing this, is that when I ordered them, Wish did not package them very well, and I'd seen on other people's reviews of the makeup that they didn't package it well. And so I had one glitter that tragically came open and it looked like I had glitter everywhere. It took me about an hour to clean it up, but it was, I think, $4.25 or $5 when you ordered with other people. And then when they shipped and got here, I got all of these really cool powders for like $6, or I mean not powders but glitters. So to me it was still worth it, even if I had to do a little cleanup, but then again, maybe not to you. So before I go in there and start with the glitter, I am going to get, this is one of my more high-end products, but you don't have to. I think you could go anywhere you wanted to and get, but it's not focusing when I go in, and I'm really sorry. This is a Kat Von D, and I do love Kat Von D, I have to admit it, but her products are spendy. I think these little eyeliners are like $20, and so these little liquid liners, but I do love her products. They are great products, and they've got a super fine tip on them. Hopefully you can see that. I know it won't focus on the, I don't know why. I'm not good at videos, unfortunately. That's not my forte, but this is a black, it's called Trooper. I'm sure you could go to any store and find a really good liquid liner. I've also tried the gel liners with the brushes. In fact, I have a couple. I have this one here that I bought at Pacifica called Midnight, and I also have an ELF in brown, but I just don't like those as well as I like these, but maybe you will. So if you prefer that, I would go for it. Now here's why, part of the reason I don't do my face up. I have, to make easy wings, I take some Scotch tape, put it on the back of my hand to get some of the sticky off, because you don't want that super sticky around your eyebrows or your eyes. And then I just follow this lower lash line with the tape, kind of go up underneath of there, and I draw that towards the end of the eyebrow. If you can see, that line is kind of what I use. And then when you go to put your wings on, I personally like to outline the entire eye. I go all the way around the top and all the way around the bottom. But some people like to do part way across. Some people like a more defined wing. it's all up to you. YouTube some wing videos that look like what you want and go with that, but I like a small wing. So I start at the corner, and here's my advice to everybody when you do winged eyelashes is ensure that you have adequate time. Don't try to rush it, because wings are hard. No matter what you do, wings are not all that easy to do, and if you try to rush it, it's just way more frustrating than it needs to be. And so make sure that you take your time when you do that. Now I bring it all the way to the corner of my eye, and then up and out, as you can see. See that? All the way to the corner. And try to get it as nice and even as possible. And then I close my eye and I draw from about where I want the wing to go inwards. And then I fill it in. And that is how I get my wings. Pretty much like that. And then when you peel off the tape, then it's all nice and pretty. Now I don't like to do my bottom ones until after I've done the glitter. And so one of the YouTube people that I saw had the coolest thing. People talk about their pressed glitters, and they talk about when you do your pressed glitters that you want to use alcohol and glycerin to mix. Well, another lady used plain old hand sanitizer, and it was amazing. And all she did was squirt a little bit of hand sanitizer on, I'm going to use my beauty blender actually. She just squirted a little bit of hand sanitizer on it like this, on her surface. And then she took her brush, and I'm going to go back to this one again. I just wiped it off, nothing fancy. And then she picked her glitter, and I guess today I will go with this pretty green, just because that's what sounds good at the moment. And she literally just opened up her glitter, and it's super fine, as you can see. It's just a really super fine glitter. Whoops, spilled a little out showing you. It's just a super fine glitter, and she dipped her brush first in the hand sanitizer, so I've got some sanitizer on there. Oh, it makes me mad that it's not focusing. And then into her glitter. See, you get a good amount on there. And then back into the sanitizer again, just to kind of blend it. And then your glitter's not going anywhere. Your glitter is going to stay on your brush. So when you go to apply it, I'm just going to apply it to the mobile lid because that's what I like, but people do, you know, all over or whatever works for them. But you just go in with that glitter on the mobile lid. And I already have that line because I have already done the lightest color, so it gives me a little definition. And if you want it super light like this, I don't even know how well you all can see this, but it's super light and shimmery that way. If you want it really light, you can just do that light layer, and then once that dries, that's not coming off until you wash. Or if you want more glitter, just the same thing, a little hand sanitizer, dip it into your glitter again, back into your sanitizer to kind of mix it all together. And then I'm going to apply a little more because I like a heavier glitter, and just spread it all around. Now if you really wanted a really bright and stand out kind of look, you could do a green eyeshadow before you put this on, because that would look really super cool too. Or if you want the lighter look, then I just apply it like this, because I like my glitter to kind of be an accent. I don't like it to smack you in the face. But some people like a really heavy glitter look, and that's perfectly okay too, if that's what you like. So I'm only doing one eye for the purpose of this video, but this is the glitter on the eyelid. And then I actually have a little bit of a super dark, I have a couple of greens in this palette in the middle there, these two right here. And then to get my dark color, I use my defining brush, and I use that super dark green. It's got a little shimmer to it. And I just put that darkest color here on the edge. Kind of bringing that towards the end of the wing and finishing it out. And I'm going to add a little bit of a brownish color too, because I just want that little bit darker look. But if you had some darker greens, that'd be great. I don't have tons and tons of colors for eyeshadows. And then I have another brush here that's just a little bit bigger, and I just blend. Lots of blending. Blend, 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 blend. And that's why I leave the tape in place as long as I do, because none of this is going to get messed up. And then when I take off my tape, I have like this perfect little wing here, which makes it super easy. And then I just follow through and do my bottom lid with that liquid liner as well. And that bottom lid I just do from the corner, and then I just draw it straight out across the water line, because I don't like a heavy look under the lid. Now I just boo-booed, if you see that, I just boo-booed right there, and that's easy enough to take off. That same little angle brush I have, I can just go in and kind of rub that off with. And then I take, I have this other eyeliner that I like on the bottom that's sparkly. This is by Hard Candy. I got this at Walmart. I think they're $6. And it's a glittery black eyeliner. And I really like it on the bottom lids. So I use it to go around with, because it seems to define it better. And it's a little bit easier. And then I just join that right here to my wing, and my wing is already done, so I can just bring that right up here. And it just defines it right out. And I like this Hard Candy one because I can bring that right down on my lash line, so that when I put my false eyelashes on, you won't be able to tell how far down they are, so that it looks natural. Alright, so there's that finished wing, like so. And now I can put on my false lashes. Now I have a certain set of false lashes that I like. They're by Kiss. I've tried several different kinds. The Kiss just happens to be the one that I like. These are called Pretty, as a matter of fact. And they look like this. And they're a very full lash without looking like Snuffleupagus, basically. So when I put on the glue, a lot of people put it on the eyelash, and every time I did, I wound up sticking the eyelash to pretty much everything except what I wanted to put it on. And so I have actually gotten in the habit of putting that. Now if you look at yourself straight on in the mirror, I like my eyelash to start just in front of where the edge of the round color of my eye is. So straight on in the mirror, and I bring it right to the edge, right there. And then I just draw this across right where I have my eyeshadow. And then it also draws it a little bit onto my natural eyelashes, which is good for me because when I stick it to my, stick the fake ones to it, I can just, or false I guess is the polite term, then I can just have it adhere to the original lashes as well. So this takes just a minute or so to dry. It'll go from this milky color to like a clear, and so you'll be able to see that. So I'll put this on pause and come back when it's dry. Okay guys, so now as you can see, that's pretty well not even noticeable. It's all pretty well opaque. Takes about a minute, 30 seconds, depending on how much you put on there. Then I just have the eyelash, and I look myself straight on, try to put that edge right where I had originally put the glue, and then drag it across, and then push it all the way on. And then I like the eyelashes to have more of an upturned look. And so that's what I do, is I just push them in the upwards motion. And that glue that was on my own lashes kind of helps them adhere to these other ones. And so there's the finished look with the eyelashes on. So there you can see is one eye done compared to the one that's not. And then I have this Mary Kay concealer in the tube, and I like my around my eye to be super duper defined, and so I just take a little tiny bit. That's really irritating me that it's not focusing, but a tiny little bit on my brush, just the tiniest little bit, and I go into the corner of my eye